Welcome back, guys. We are now going to tour the Custer area. We went to Mount Rushmore and then we toured around Custer State Park. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Uh, be right back. So as we get ready and head on down to Mount Rushmore, this is exiting the park that we stayed in. As you can see, there's quite a bit of space between the RV sites. We really enjoyed our stay here. This is Custer's Gulch. And as we exit this park area, we head towards the town of Custer, and then from there we head on off to one of the turnoffs that took us towards Mount Rushmore. It was about 20-minute ride. Wasn't that far. We did notice the Geronimo carving that is on one of the sides of the mountains on the way there. We did not stop to see that. Our goal was to see Mount Rushmore. This was the second time for me to visit this park. The first time for my wife. Hopefully you don't get seasick watching this video, as I did speed it up to get us through some of the footage, just to show the area. It's a beautiful area, lots of trees. The rock formation that they have there are very interesting. But you'll notice as we come into the park, we were directed to go into the RV lane, and that was because we have a couple of kayaks on the top of our truck. We traveled with those the whole time, so that gave us about a clearance of 9.5, 10 feet. So they always put us into areas that large RVs were going through. And this particular thing, it was kind of interesting. I just noticed that when I was doing this video, is that the whole fifth wheel was brought in there. I didn't think that they had parking spaces that large for an entire fifth wheel. Here's some shots of the park. We did take the trails that guide you around the park. We did see some very interesting sights that I did not see the first time I was there. The first time I was there, we just drove into the park, walked into that main area, looked at the statues, and headed out. We were in a very rushed trip that time. You will notice that there's some downed trees also in the park. Took some pictures of those. There was some storms that came through the night before and actually just blew down some of the trees. One of these shots coming up here pretty soon, this one right here, I really enjoyed because I was able to get in the background a picture of the statues of what was being carved in the mountain. So the next thing we decided to do is head on out to the Custer State Park. is probably one of the most interesting rides or drives that I've taken in any of the states that I've been in so far. The sights were just beautiful, and some of the bridges, like this particular one, are all wood bridges, but it takes you under that bridge, and then you have to corkscrew around, and basically you drive back over that bridge. And this is not slow motion driving, this is the actual speed I was driving going around that curve. Pretty tight turns. I do have a large truck, dually, so driving on these narrow roads is sometimes a little difficult. Here's the second bridge. You can see a car that was driven over it just before we went under it. But this one goes the opposite direction. So last time we went to the left and then corkscrewed up, and next time we're going to the right and then corkscrews up. So this was the first tunnel that we came up on. I was kind of leery because you can't even see around the corner to see if any cars are coming. You sort of have to sneak out there, and then until about now can you see if anything is actually coming down that road. So this tunnel is pretty long, one lane. There's, I believe, 3 tunnels that we drove through in the whole in this park. About 3 bridges as well. So this guy was on the side of the road, and sort of caught him with the dash cam. I just had to zoom in on that particular area of the middle of the road to see that deer sitting there. But he wasn't moving. And here is the third bridge that we went under and back over. I believe this particular one includes a tunnel just as you come around the corner. And wait for it. I know it's coming. Yep, there it is. So this one you have to wait because there's cars coming through, as you can see. But you have a better visual of cars coming towards you. The other thing, this is CC something, I can't remember the name of this particular tunnel, but at the end of this tunnel, if you look straight out, the trees have been cleared to give a straight view to Mount Rushmore. I paused the video here and then inserted a couple of pictures so you can see that Mount Rushmore is at the end of that line of trees. That was interesting. I don't know if anybody actually catches that when they're driving through there, but just happened to catch that, and wife took a picture of it, which was interesting that we were able to capture that. So after driving for a few hours, we needed a stop to get a potty break. So this is our potty break stop. So the next set of images that you'll see pop up here will capture some of the stills of that area that we just drove through, and you'll see some of those trees that have been knocked over by the storms that happened the night before. And it was pretty windy, and you can see the switchbacks that you have to go down to get back down off this mountain that we just climbed up. But again, right about here you'll see some images that we captured of Mount Rushmore again. So it's off in the distance. If you're looking for it, you might be able to see it. And here I believe is the last tunnel that we went through on this drive. So as we came up to this pull-off, this is probably the first time we actually saw some live animals in the area. And I got some shots of those. Later on in the next video, there are some more shots of live animals, but those are the only ones we saw in this first phase of our trip on this particular loop. As you may have noticed, the terrain is starting to change. You get a lot more flat surfaces, less mountains. One of the things to notice that we wanted to go on several of these drives, but the Needles drive we couldn't go on because of our truck. It was too tall or too wide. And it could have been both. The state park day pass, if you want to call it, it's actually about 7 days, $20. You get pay the $20. They put a sticker on your windshield on the right side. I'm not sure why it goes on the right side, but that gives you 7 days of entrance into the park, so you can cruise around and see the sights and stuff like that. And we went in several times into the park to see this area, which was again very interesting. So after getting some of the literature that the state park provided, we needed to pull over somewhere and sort of review it and see what they had. We didn't want to miss anything while we're there, so we pulled into the visitor center and decided what our next step was. We were kind of hungry, so after stopping here at the visitor center, we drove on over to a grocery store they had in the area. It was actually pretty close to a state park campground, and we had our lunch, and then after that we drove through the state park. The state park itself has water and electricity. I believe it's 30 amp electricity, but there's no sewer hookups on any of the sites. They do have dumps, so you could download your tanks. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of this video, and the next video that gets posted will have the rest of this trip, for this day trip that we did, going around Custer State Park and seeing some of the animals that they had there. So enjoy. Hey, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe.